Well, only 2 more weeks of this.
Yeah, we are live on YouTube now.
Can't find. Oh.
Kurt, you're still unmuted. I don't know if you.
Do you want me to say something?
No, I just thought if anyone walks in or anything, you'd probably want to be muted.
No, that was just my radio.
Oh, I see. Okay. Okay, so waiting for those last few seconds to tick over to 7 o'clock. And it is 7 o'clock, so we can call to order. I do not believe there are any changes to the agenda tonight, so I will look for a motion to adopt, please. Moved by Councillor Wood and a seconder, Councillor Lorraine. Any questions or comments on the agenda? Seeing none. All right, all in favor? So moved. Thank you. Declaration of conflict of interest or pecuniary interest. I do not believe we have any this evening. Delegations, presentations, or petitions on Monday night. Well, we have the RCMP report. Was there any further questions on the report this evening? So none. All right. On to public question period. Just want to confirm with SAO Hood that we've not received anything for tonight.
I have not.
Okay, thank you. And on to 6.1, adoption of the minutes of the April 26th and 28th, 2021 council meeting. I'll look for a mover, please. Moved by Deputy Mayor Barlock and a seconder. Seconded by Councillor Wood. Any questions or comments on the meeting minutes? So none. We'll call to a vote. All in favor?
Yes.
Thank you. All right, on to 7.1, the action items list. Was there any questions or comments on the list this evening? Seeing none, thank you. And on to 8.1, the town facilities closure. Recommendation is that Inuvik Town Council hereby approves of closing the Midnight Sun Complex, the Inuvik Centennial Library, and the town office on Friday, May 28th, 2021 from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. to facilitate an all-staff meeting. May I have a mover, please? Moved by Councillor Wood, seconded by Councillor Lorraine. Any comments, questions on this item? Seeing none, I'll call to a vote. All in favor?
Yes.
So moved, thank you. And on to item 8.2, the Community Recreation and Sport Funding Agreement. Recommendation is that Inuvik Town Council hereby approves the application for funding under the Municipal and Community Affairs Community Recreation and Sport Contribution Program in the amount of $43,000. I'll look for a mover, please. Moved by Councillor Loreen, seconded by Deputy Mayor Barlock. Questions or comments on this item? Seeing none, we'll call to a vote. All in favor?
yes,
So moved, thank you. And on to item number 3, the support for the 2021 census. Recommendation is that Inuvik Town Council hereby supports the 2021 census and encourages all residents to complete their census questionnaire online at www.census.gc.ca. Accurate and complete census data support programs and services that benefit our community. May I have a mover, please? Moved by Councillor Wood, seconded by Councillor Loreen. Any questions or comments on this item? Seeing none, we'll call to a vote. All in favor?
yes,
Thank you, so moved. And on to 9.1, which is the licensed premises bylaw. Recommendation is that Inuvik Town Council hereby gives second reading to bylaw 2668 LNP 21, the licensed premises bylaw. May I have a mover, please? Moved by Councillor Wood, seconded by Deputy Mayor Barlock. Any discussion, questions, comments on this item? Seeing none, we'll call to a vote. All in favor?
yes,
So moved, thank you. And on to 9.2, the all-terrain vehicle bylaw. Recommendation is that Inuvik Town Council hereby gives first reading to bylaw 2669 TR21, the all-terrain vehicles bylaw. I'll look for a mover, please. Moved by Deputy Mayor Barlock. I think seconded by Councillor Loreen. Thank you. So open to conversation, questions, discussion. Councillor Wood, go ahead.
In light of some of the information received from Council Rainman, maybe we should be delaying this until we do some more research on the vehicles covered under this bylaw, the e-cycles or whatever, because they don't seem to fit. Maybe Councillor Wainman could expand on that.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I was concerned because they don't fit the ATV bylaw, because if you read the ATV bylaw, it states in there that you need registration, insurance, a license, a headlight, a tail light, which an e-bike doesn't fall into that category. I agree with, like I said in the email, I agree with the helmets and everything, but it just, it's not, and it's only a half horsepower engine. You know, it also states in there about motor assisted. An e-bike is motor assisted, but it's not the, what we're referring to in our ATV bylaw is more like a moped with pedals, right? But it just doesn't follow, like anyone reads it, you can add it in there, but it's got to be worded different. And it's got to get away from that insurance and registrations. Like it just doesn't fit.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, and like I'll just touch on it. My understanding was that the motor assisted cycle would cover those. And so I know that SAO Hood, I don't know if he's had time to do any further research at this point, but one of the options also before council is to pass first reading. And then we can ask administration to work further on the wording so that we can start the process of having the bylaw in place. Of course, council can vote it down, and if you think that it has to be a completely different bylaw altogether, that's also an option. So maybe first I would just ask SAO Hood to see if he had any further notes and then bring it back to council here again.
So at this time, I've had a real quick discussion with the municipal enforcement. They were going to look at potentially clarifying it also, but haven't had really a chance to come back. I mean, the intention is, as Councillor Wayman has noted, is that these e-bikes and stuff like that the requirement is you do not need licensing, et cetera, et cetera. So we're going to look at it also. We've consulted, and we will hear back also from our legal counsel just to make sure the wording is. But my recommendation to council would be to pass this on first reading, not do second reading tonight, and then we can come back for the next set of meetings and have a revisions or amendments to it. And that way we could do, if a council is happy with what we have, they can do second and third reading at that moment. If we delay it now, then it's another month and a half, and we're getting into the summer when these bikes may be used. So this way, we still get the time to do it, but it allows us to go back and do some more research.
If
Thank
I
you.
can add something.
Yep, go ahead.
So the intent of this, first of all, with regard to your question, is how many are there in town? I know for sure that there are 3 in town. And historically, the reason why this was actually added into a bylaw was to cover the question because somebody had asked. It is not a bicycle, it is a motor assisted bicycle. And do they need registration? So when Peace Officer Waghorn was researching this, he had contacted several municipalities in the south where this has become a question, particularly Vancouver. Again, I know that Whitehorse is also considering it. So in terms of including it in the bylaw or not, I think it is relevant because 1, we have already had 1 question. 2, I know that there are 3 bikes for sure in town that are considered e-bikes. In discussion with Peace Officer Waghorn, we also determined, again, I go back to my explanation of where we are trying to distinguish between an e-bike, a power-assisted bicycle versus an ATV is the amount of power that is used in the motor, be it electric or a gas-powered motor. So in consultation with our legal counsel, where this did go to the legal counsel, we were trying to see where it would fit within the bylaw existing right now, because it is not an ATV. We all agree on that, but there has to be a definition of an e-bike because they are present in town and more people will likely be getting some. So having said that, the legal counsel's best course of action was to include it in the ATV as a separate entity, to say that this is a separate type of vehicle. Therefore, it is adding 6.0 and the operation of motor assisted cycles to include it because it needed to go somewhere unless it was a separate bylaw altogether. Yes.
Thank you. Go ahead, Councillor Wayman.
I'm fine with all that. The problem I have is if you read the bylaw and you start reading it, it says before the e-bike that you need registration, insurance, headlight, taillight. And the e-bike in 6.0 you add in falls in that bracket. It just doesn't fit, right? Do we have a pedal bike bylaw that we could put the e-bike in? Or like if you add, like you got to understand, if anyone's looking for an e-bike regulation rules and they start reading the ATV bylaw, well, it says they need a headlight, taillight.
Oh, I see where you're coming from, is the flow of the actual bylaw itself and how it's misleading that it follows all of the regulations of an ATV.
Yes,
and then it's after
very
that.
misleading.
Okay, so we can also speak with legal counsel then about clarifying that power assisted bicycles are not considered ATVs unless they are above that threshold of speed and power.
Well, they're all built at that. That's the max they're built at. A majority of them. The other ones are extreme ones. These ones here that are everyday rider, they're built at that size for a reason.
Right. So we can actually talk with legal counsel about how best to approach that. If it is a statement of that they are exempt from the all-terrain, the requirements under the all-terrain vehicle. So we will work with legal counsel and try to word that so it's more clear and it flows better to know that they are a separate entity.
All right, thank you.
Anything further from council then on this item?
Sorry, if I can just ask, I
Yep.
don't think I got the email that Councillor Wayman sent around, so I might have just missed it. I just checked my
Okay.
spam email wasn't in there too. Someone could forward it to me so I can make sure I have a chance to look at
Sorry,
it.
I thought I included you.
I'm easily forgettable.
Hey, how did I miss you? I'll forward it to you.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you. But I think what you're saying makes sense. And I mean, all-terrain vehicle is defined in the definitions in the interpretation section. And motor-assisted vehicles is defined in there as well. So I think some statement to the effect that motor-assisted vehicles are not subject to the same requirements as ATVs with respect to those things could probably fix the issue, because they're both defined vehicles.
Yeah, it really deters a person wanting to have an e-bike who's too lazy to pedal too much, right? I mean, they're actually electric assist. You do have to pedal. You do get a workout. It's you can put it in negative, you can put it in positive. I mean, but if you start reading the ATV bylaw where I read it, like, and how it comes across, it's a big deterrent if you have to get all the ATV accessories, right? That's why I brought it up. Thank you.
Yeah. And I would say I would be supportive of the approach who had said to do first reading tonight, and then we just defer second reading to another meeting. That way we can kind of keep
And I'm all for that too.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for the clarification on that. The easier it is for people to read, the less we will have to, again, provide some public education to them, and it'll be more clear that way. So thank you.
Thank you.
Great, thank you, everyone. So if there are no further questions at this time, then we can bring it to a vote. So all in favor of first reading?
Yes.
Thank you, so moved. Next up, we have our department head reports. Recommendation here is that Inuvik Town Council hereby adopts the following department head reports as presented. 10.1, the Planning and Development Report. 10.2, the Public Services Report. 10.3, the Senior Administrative Officers Report. 10.4, the Community Services Report. 10.5, the Economic Development and Tourism Report. 10.6, the Capital Projects Report. And 10.7, the Protective Services Report. May I have a mover of the reports, please? Moved by Councillor Loreen, seconded by Councillor Wood. Any questions or comments on any of the reports? Seeing none. All right, with that, we'll call to a vote. All in favor?
Yes.
Thank you. So moved. We had a couple information items. Was there anything further under council concerns tonight? Councillor Wood and then Deputy Mayor Barlow.
I know none of us here are a big fan of Inuvik rat and rave, but every so often even a blind squirrel finds an acorn. Well, anyway, the one I found on rat and rave this time is about ATVs. Particularly on Down Street, I believe it is, where a number of ATVs are being driven by minors, teenagers, ever at all hours of the night and day, and in a very, how would you put it, careless manner. Some people have almost been hit and so on. So I feel that maybe by law and possibly the RCMP should be making patrols in that area in the evening. Maybe taking some of these people off the road before somebody does get serious. And that's my concern.
Thank you, Councillor Wood. I'm sure we'll take that back. All right, thank you. Deputy Mayor Barlow.
Great, thank you. I guess I just was thinking the other day, we haven't closed the landfill to picking yet for this spring, have we? Because I know the bears are out now, and I think some of them have started to show up at the landfill. So is there plans to close the landfill again to picking for the summer season while the bears are out?
Yes, there is. We just haven't, and we will be looking at it. That's sort of on our plan for the next week or so, that to take a look at it.
Great.
But the plan will be that we will, for safety reasons, close it to pick.
Great, thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Wainman.
The warming shelter, does anyone have any update? It's closing in 2 days, and is that still happening? Or, I mean, it's still pretty cold out. They do call it a warming shelter. I can't see how they can close it during May. It still gets -10 at night here, and we're gonna have a whole bunch of incidents if we We'll keep this open till at least June 1st.
I don't have any update myself. SAO Hood, were you able to find anything today?
I haven't had an opportunity to check into it yet.
But we will definitely take it back, Council Raymond.
And also, can we, whoever we touch base with, could we ask what the future is of the warming shelter? It's an important place, so.
Yeah.
Just to know what they're going forward, or what's the plan, or are they shutting it down forever, or is it just for the summer? Like, if we can get some questions and answers. And
Yeah, we are slated to get a full update in a combination from health and housing together at a upcoming meeting. And so hopefully we'll be able to tackle some of those subjects at that time too. But definitely questions that we can ask.
thank you.
Yep, you're welcome. All right, anything further under concerns? I'll just give a quick update. There was a question about the pool on Monday night, and we did get the update out today for our residents. So that's good. We do not have in camera tonight, so I will look for a motion to adjourn, please. Moved by Deputy Mayor Barlock. All right, thank you, everyone. Have a great evening.
Have a good night.
Thank you.
See
Good night.
you.
Night, Clarence.
Good night. I'll look for that squirrel again.
There.